So 2 days ago, I think, or whatever it is in this, it's in the chat, man. I even did a cover and everything. How you mean?
It's in the chat, is it? Well, how I
No,
missed
that's what
that?
I'm saying. Like, yeah, you might not even.
How many I
You see,
missed
I'm
that?
saying this is why I don't even bother. You
Wait
get
for
me?
that.
I'm putting all the effort. I'm putting a front cover, all sorts. Yeah. Let me see if I can find the front cover. The man's
Raz
out
used to
here.
cuss about you not putting the front cover on, bro.
This is what I'm saying. So I'm taking the information. I'm doing something with it. Man, they're giving me no flowers. No
No
accolades,
props.
no props, bro. Man telling me, have I uploaded anything after I took my time to chop up the thing? And let me see. To be honest, the sound was proper bad in it. Yeah, the sound was proper bad and it all distorted and stuff because my
Oh,
mic, at
really?
the moment my mic's not working. So at the moment I'm using the mic built into my laptop, which is
Oh,
uh
yeah.
which is a disaster. Yeah.
Get yourself a headset then, bro.
Yeah, I need to sort something out, but it's always something. I'm not gonna lie to you, though. It's always something. Um,
No,
they say,
you should
oh,
come see me though, still.
yeah, I know, I do need to come see you. I need the full treatment. But just don't touch my thing and tell me sorry after you break it.
No, I'll just say, look, you got insurance on it, yeah?
You see what I'm saying? You see these man. I'm gonna go to the Indian man. Yeah. Let me see what's
You got
going
house
on.
insurance here, bro?
Man said house insurance, and if you think I care about the hardware, it's the stuff on there, bro. Um, let's see something.
Don't tell me you ain't got that stuff backed up.
Should be backed up, but there's stuff on there I don't even want to back up. But yeah, you know what I mean? Look. I gave man a front cover, Look, let's have a look at my front cover. Jeez, look at that.
Trading
Come
pain
on,
is temporary, yeah?
come on. Make
All right,
man,
yeah, yeah.
make man do cover and them thing there. They must say, where's the thing I uploaded? Cheek.
I've got album cover coming out and shit.
Come on, mixtape and all that. Anyway, let's
But
have a look. So we're seeing. I'm not gonna look at gold right now. I'm gonna keep looking at the Dixie. All right, and we're seeing some energy potentially coming out here. All right. I showed a hour manipulation W here, and the market's tapping into that space right now. Yeah, and if this Dixie starts to gain strength, our GU and all of them thing Dessa, which is currently making a lovely manipulation M, is coming down. All right, coming down. Yeah. Some of my Dominican aunties would tell it. Yeah, so it's coming down. All right. So we have to see here what's going on. So on a 3 minute time frame, we get a nice manipulation M. On a 5 minute time frame, we get a nice manipulation M. And I'm looking at the Dixie, which is gaining strength after taking liquidity, and I'm interested in potentially this trade doing something. All right, I'm interested in it. I'm watching it. I'm seeing what's happening. I did call it out. I called out one first, which was this move that happened from down here to up here, and I want to see this market turn around here. However, I'm a bit concerned how close we are to this liquidity here on GU. All right. So this market at the moment, in my opinion, is doing what? Can somebody tell me what it might be doing? Do some
accumulating.
accumulation. All right. I love to see some accumulation. Yeah, love to see that accumulation. Like accumulate, yes. Yeah, do whatever you need to do. Go sideways because I understand that the market likes to accumulate, manipulate, then distribute. So when I see accumulation right beside areas of liquidity, I get excited. You get what I'm saying? Because I think to myself, yeah, that market's going sideways here to then potentially, it's always potentially, I don't know. Yeah, all them guys that said they know what's going to happen, good for them. Maybe they got crystal ball, maybe they're doing juju, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. I only, there's a possibility this market wants to manipulate out of here. Boom, 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 boom. And then start distributing down as hopefully the Dixie starts gaining some strength. All right. Now let's have a look and see what's going on in the world. All right. What's going on in the world today is news at 1:30, news at 1:30, news at 1:30, news at 1:30. We're talking about PCE, and we're talking about, red folder news. Now there's always news every single day. It's just good to know that something's going on, but there's news every day. Yeah, every day there's news. All right, so we can't be like, oh my gosh, there's news today. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do the same stuff we did yesterday because it was news yesterday. All right, it is what it is. I'm looking at this chart here and I'm looking to see whether I'm getting any divergence. All right, divergence is a difference in these pairs, in correlated pairs. Yeah, so if I'm seeing is this market making higher highs and higher lows on one, but making lower highs and lower lows on another, that would be divergence. Okay. But over here, we can see this market going sideways in here. Now, like I said, we don't know what this market wants to do. We have to read and react to what the market does. But I'm very concerned about this liquidity here. I'm not even concerned. I've identified this liquidity here as a real point of interest. Okay, it's a real point of interest. So we might even see the market do something cheeky like this. It might do a little manipulation down here. And then push up here. And then do what it needs to do from here. It's not impossible. Yeah, it's only small. This is 1 minute sideways action. This isn't no big accumulation. This is very small. Either way, we're watching it, and I'm going to pop an alert. I'm going to delete. See, the Dixie made a nice big push up now. And I'm expecting that to be a nice big push. The Dixie's just pushed up nicely. Over here, have a look. Boom. Yeah, that's my Dixie. Just like Uncle said, they was going to have a reaction around here. That's what the Dixie's doing. Yeah. On the 1 minute time frame, we're seeing it pushing out. 3 minute time frame, we're seeing a manipulation W, as ugly as it is. All right. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe this market's ready to come down. Only problem I'm having right now for GU is GU never hasn't taken a liquidity. But let's look at EU. EU has taken Asian session liquidity. EU is very close to another area of liquidity. So they're both close to liquidity. This is close to New York PM session liquidity over here. Okay. Over here. Where's my things? There you go. Here's all my, where they gone? Oh, here we go. It's near to this liquidity over here. Yeah. And GU is near to what session liquidity? Asian session high liquidity. Okay. In both instances, I would like to see that as liquidity taken. So up here, I'm gonna pop an alert over here. I want to see that alert taken. In fact, let's do that. I want to see that alert taken. I want to see up here taken. Yeah, I want to see up here taken. Take it. Yeah. I did have a gold alert in here. I'm gonna go over and look at gold. I'll look at Goldie Woldy in a minute. All right. I want to see these alerts taken. I want to see these highs taken. Sorry, these alerts taken. I want to see these highs taken. Yeah. At the moment, we're still doing sideways action in here in GU, and I'm watching it. All right. I also do want to know if the market, because the market looks like it's pushing down outside of that little sideways action. It looks like it's pushing out of it. Okay. I'm watching it. I've got an alert here on my MT5 that you will hear ringing if that market starts going to hell. Okay, but I've said even if we do get a little push outside of here, it might just be a little grab of liquidity to actually push up here. All right, because this is some sideways action on a very small time frame in GU. In EU, let's have a look at EU, see what EU is doing. And like I said to you, I'm not trusting my trading view because trading view be telling me lies. Okay, so let's go over here. On trade, we are getting a push down on trading view. Now, sometimes these markets can get cheeky and not take the liquidity that we thought it should go and take. It's like we've seen it happen before in the past, where the market don't go and take the liquidity. All right. And, we're sitting there wondering why didn't it take it? And we're sitting there thinking, have we missed our opportunity? And it does happen. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. I don't know if today's going to be one of those days, but I'm seeing very strong price action in Dixie. Yeah, going all the way up in here. All right, now, the reality is in Dixie is that we've broken some 1 minute structure. Let me turn off the soca. It's getting me wild. It's making me I keep sliding back in my chair every time I'm hearing the soca in the background. So if you see over here, yeah, we can see this market has broken some smaller 1 minute structure over here. Okay. This is 1 minute structure. It's not fantastic. It's not nothing to necessarily write home about, but it is 1 minute structure that's been broken on Dixie. All right. We can see some, maybe you can call it a 3-minute high in here. It's been broken. And maybe even the 5-minute. But there is a big opportunity. There's a big chance that market wants to tap back in and around these areas. And it might tap back in and then push up. That would give us some confirmations on a very small time frame. Or it might just go push down here, because there is this same that we're looking at the GU and EU. If you could tell us that there's some liquidity over here. Same with our actual Dixie. Yeah, with our actual Dixie, we're looking at it and we're seeing liquidity. We're seeing liquidity down here. So don't get twisted. This market could do down here first before it decides to do something. It definitely could. All right, it definitely could. So don't get excited quite as yet. But we are seeing GU having a little push out of here. EU. EU's different. EU actually made a manipulation M. It's ugly-ish, yeah, on the 1 minute time frame. I just have a problem with the fact that we haven't taken these Asian session highs. All right. So regardless of what's going on, there is a little bit of concern. Yeah, there is a little bit of concern to what's going on there. All right. So I'd say be patient. Just be patient and see what happens here. Yeah, here's GU. It's coming out of here. So look, guys, look, I called one from early. I drew one on the screen. Yeah, boom. I called 2. Now 2 ain't happened yet, so I'm not going to get excited. But the market seems to be behaving to what I think that it might do. So on that basis, Sensei might be on today. We'll see. I'm still very concerned about this. Don't get twisted. I'm not getting excited yet. I think that there's a good possibility that this does that. Okay? It's a possibility that does it. So don't get excited. Think to yourself, oh, you're missing the move. It's moving without you. Blah, 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 blah. But, one good thing for this bearish energy is Dixie, making some real strength out of it. Now, Dixie's now currently tapping into a previous battlefield. The previous battlefield was this low here. These lows. Yeah. And the way it moved through here with strength and speed. This is a previous battlefield. So this is an area where we may see a reaction back bearish for the Dixie. That bearish action in the Dixie is going to be bullish action in our GU and EU. All right. At the moment, it's just continue to push. GU, EU is dropping out. Yeah, GU is dropping out. EU is dropping out to hell. All right. But again, like I said to you, we are in this previous battlefield area on all of these markets. Just a bit concerned that this market starts trickling back up here. And now, because this market is pushing so hard, I'm going to pull out a Fibonacci from here to here. That's showing a 50% area of this impulse where this market might tap into and then decide it wants to push back up in here. It's not impossible. Trust me. Okay. It's not impossible that this market from here gets into here. Let's push out in a moment. And unless you've somehow gotten into the trade, I'd say be patient. Yeah. I'd say, yes, we are getting lots of energy coming in. Dixie is showing us certain things, which look, is a good analysis because we looked at Dixie and I said, look at it on the hour time frame. On the hour time frame, we've taken this daily low, which is on Tuesday, the 1st of March, 2022. We took it by this wick energy. And right in here, after we had a little wick, we came back in here, we made a lovely manipulation W. And the market's currently tapping into that manipulation W. It's tapping into that manipulation W right in here. Our manipulation W is here. Yeah. And we're having a small reaction. Okay, now is that reaction going to take us all the way back up here to take liquidity from above previous Asian session highs? I don't know. It's possible. It's not impossible. Okay. And that's the reason why I was looking at it on a smaller time frame, that the Dixie might gain strength. If the Dixie is going to gain strength, our dollar, your euro USD, and our pound USD are going to be going down. Okay, now are they going to go straight down? No, because the market's moving waves. All right, so though we've seen this reaction here, come down here, is it possible that this market comes back up here and then does that? It's possible. Is it possible this market comes up here, goes and gets its liquidity first? Possible. But if for that to do that, is that Dixie's going to have to fall to hell and go and chase this liquidity down here? Possible. All very possible. Okay, so we're watching it. Yeah, don't be thinking to yourself that you're missing out. Blah, blah, blah. You're not missing on anything. Nothing's really going on yet. There's no confirmations of what's happening yet. Liquidity, which is our strategy, has not been taken yet properly from EU or GU. Yeah, liquidity hasn't been taken properly from EU or GU. All right, so even though we're getting this push, all right, we're getting this push down here, which could be seen as a double top. Okay, a double top. What do I mean by that? I mean the market tapped in here, tapped in here. That's a double top, which is a bearish strategy. But it's a bearish strategy that normally only is, some people call it the cup and the saucer, or the cup and handle, or saucer, or whatever it may be. Essentially, this is the cup. Have a look. This is the cup. And this is the handle. All right. But typically that doesn't go too far. No one sees a handle that goes lower than the cup, right? So if that's the case, that right now that 50% level right in here might be that energy of coming up here to take this liquidity. Yeah. Might be that energy right now that our market turns around and says, yep, all right, now we're going to go and get the liquidity that we was mucking about with and we didn't take straight away. Yeah, so that's why I said, just take time. Don't think that you're missing anything by this energy. I did also say this market could accumulate and manipulate at the bottom and then distribute to the top and then start coming down. And I kind of think that might be what's going on here. All right. We've seen a reaction straight away in EU over here on the previous battlefield also. Okay. And this was this double top also in the EU here and here. Okay. All right, and so we can see that this market is having a little reaction in here. You know, is there an ability for us to just jump in this trade here for the buy? Not based upon our strategy. Yeah, not really based upon our strategy. I'm going to remove these. We've already won. There's no point leaving the accolades on the screen. We've already won with that. And we're looking at this potential energy over here. Well, let's move it out of the way. So was number 2. And I'm still leaving a question mark in there because I don't know. All right. But I actually think that maybe we might see this market here at this 50% level, give us some sort of change of character and go and get this liquidity. It's possible. Yeah, I don't know what the markets are going to go and do, but it's very possible based upon what it's doing. Here is a previous battlefield. I've just drawn this line in here. It's a previous battlefield. It's a point of interest. Anything that you see me put on the screen is a point of interest. Okay, it doesn't mean, oh, Jay's, you know, he's drawn this line over here. No, it's just a point of interest. And then all I'm doing is I'm managing my risk, yeah, and looking for high probability areas that something may happen. Okay, so like I said to you, I'm looking at this market. I said, I love accumulation. After accumulation, we normally see manipulation, then we see distribution, or manipulation and distribution. Yeah, does it happen every single time? No, it doesn't. If you think that somehow this is some science whereby, you know, things happen every single time, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, it's not. But what happens every single time? Your bus don't come on time every single time. The train is not on time every single time. You know, the sun don't rise, you know, the way it rose yesterday, certain times. There's clouds in the way or certain things. Like, nothing happens every day. It's about being able to just understand the narrative. The narrative for me is that the dollar is in a great place to gain significant strength. The narrative is for me that the dollar just made a very big impulsive bullish push, and now we're having a retracement, and the dollar is currently sitting or tapped into 50% of that impulse. If I go over here, look, the dollar on a 1 minute time frame took some liquidity below Asian sessions and closing imbalance, and it's just made an impulse push from here up to here. Now, I don't know what the dollar wants to do. I wish I could say I know, but it's looking like it's possible that maybe the dollar wants to continue getting bullish, but maybe after coming down here first, maybe wants to tap into this imbalance first, get deeper into this 50%, maybe go to this 618 and 786. Let me make these numbers a bit smaller. I was wondering my screen was just looking a bit mad. That's a bit better, isn't it? Make it a bit smaller. Okay. Maybe this market wants to come. I don't know at the moment. All right. And it's not a problem with me not knowing. The bigger problem is when I think I know and I actually don't know anything. That's a bigger problem. It's a bigger problem in life. You know, a man who thinks he knows it all knows nothing. He's a dangerous man. Yeah. The guy who turns around and knows that he doesn't know, he at least goes and takes the time to learn or watch and see what's going on. But there's that guy, I don't need to watch. Yeah, let me just do what I'm doing. Dangerous guy, bro. Dangerous person. Yeah. You know, in business, yeah, when I'm talking, I'm doing my business deals, I'm having meetings, etc. And a man who on the other end of the phone says to me, 100%, 100% we're going to do this. My very first things that come out my mouth is 100% is a very big number. Are you sure? 100%, 100%. You're not going to, what, not 99? Not 95. Give yourself some room to maneuver, because if you tell me 100%, it's done. Yeah, there's very few things man could tell when I say 100% on it. Yeah. So in this space, take the same energy. It's not 100%. I don't know. I'm letting you know for free. I'm here teaching you every single morning, and I don't know what the market's going to go and do. I know based upon my experience of what I've seen happen in the past. I know based upon my education of what from a fundamental basis, from an education basis of what may be happening here. But I don't know. So I don't want to hear anybody on the call. Like, I don't want, maybe there's someone on the call who's going to put £10,000 in a real live account right now. And every time Jay says something, he thinks to himself it's a way that he can hit the lottery. And he's just over leveraging. Well, if that's what you're doing, good for you. But I'm giving you my disclaimer. I actually don't know what's going to go and happen. That's my disclaimer. All right. If I'm a bad educator, a bad teacher for saying that, I'll take the label of being a bad teacher. Yeah. Because nobody don't know what's happening. But trust me, your influencer who's on the internet talking the most, standing outside his Lamborghini, if he knew everything that's happening in the market, he'd be on his own little island somewhere telling you this is the trader island that I bought. And I'm not charging anything for my education because you're £40, £100, £200. This doesn't mean anything to me because I know everything that's happening. It doesn't know. No one knows. Okay. So we're here looking at this Euro USD. We've seen the market push up here with a big push. We got this whole move. We saw the market make a move down here, very close to, I might as well say around the 50% area of the impulse, but we're very concerned about this liquidity over here, which is above a New York PM session that the market did not take. So we're wondering why? Why, if you're a thief, why didn't you steal this liquidity? Why didn't you go nam, 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 nam and say that you ate New York PM session highs? Or you even went and pursued highs over here? Why didn't you do that? Why did you turn around halfway through the motion? Yeah? This is the question that we ask ourselves. And I'm saying to you right now, I believe there may be a small opportunity. Look at GU. It hasn't really given us what we want. It's sketchy. You know, I think that GU here is going to push out all the way up and go and take that liquidity. Okay, now, I don't love it. I don't love this energy in here. Look, and all of this stuff that's happening in front of us in real time is stuff that I'm calling way before it happens. So I had this in here before it happens. I had this 50% line in here before it was moving down 50%. Oops. Yeah. Like, this is because based upon my knowledge, my education, I've seen these things happen before. Yeah. So at least I've placed these points of interest that when they start to happen, they're not a surprise. Now, right here, look, I put this is a previous battlefield. Right now, where the market is right now is a concern. Maybe it doesn't care about this liquidity and it's going to tap in right here where we are right now and then go woodon down here. It's possible. I'm telling you, it's possible. Yes, I believe that the market should come up here and get this liquidity. Yes, I believe there was a double top. That double top is generating even more liquidity. But do I know that it's going to go up there and get it and manipulate into this space that I said from before? I don't know. See, can you see the reason why I'm repeating myself, guys, is because I'm trying to show you how I trade. How I trade is either or. You get it? I'm a day trader and I'm reactive to the market. So I have to have, if this happens, I'm going to do this. But if that happens, I'm going to do that. I cannot marry a bias. Be like, yeah, it's going down. Because if I start marrying a bias, it implies that I know what's going on. I cannot marry a bias. There's so many times I see man marry a bias. Man's been selling it. I see man doing this. Look, I'm selling it here. I'm selling it here, stop loss. I'm selling it here, hit stop loss. I'm going to sell it here, I'm hitting stop loss. I'm going to sell it here, hitting stop loss. I'm going to sell it here, I hit stop loss. I'm going to sell it here. At some point in this journey, you've got to think to yourself, oh, maybe I should have been buying it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should have been buying in this direction. But what happens is that guy married it. He heard on the news that, US dollar is going to be gaining strength. Some influencer on it, their Telegram group put up some random Telegram, said this is what he believes is happening. So he's just been hitting sell for the last hour, taking else. Because he married the bias. I don't marry nothing. I have an either or. Every single morning, more times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, you'll see me put, the market's going to do this, or it might do something else, question mark, question mark. Because it's first thing in the morning, and I'm waiting to see what the markets do. I've planned out my route, but based upon where I see the traffic on the actual morning is going to dictate whether I'm going to go left at the top of the road or right at the top of the road. And a lot of traders don't do that. A lot of traders on some, yeah, man, I'm going to be set. Okay, cool, no problem. That's good for you. But I'm a day trader, and the day is very volatile. Even if it wants to go up, we had the different analogy I made the other day in regards to, us taking a journey on our navigation, and instead of it going straight to the location, we've got our navigation here. We want to go here, yeah, and we live over here. Oops, we live over here. Now, when we plot that in navigation, sometimes or many times, navigation does this. Doesn't do this. This is a route. This is a route straight to where we need to go. Sometimes navigation does this. Why? Because it takes us to the motorway, which gets this done. Gets it done better than doing this, stopping at traffic lights, stopping here, getting caught in traffic, boom, 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 boom. Waze is telling us there's mad traffic, Sometimes the market does this. So that means my point is, even if we want to sell the markets, as a day trader, we might see the markets buy first. So how can we be selling here, if the market's going to go in this direction first, then to join the route, the real route? We have to be sensitive to what's happening. We have to be sensitive to the fact that, okay, the markets do overall want to come down. However, I think we might push up first, go take this liquidity first, then come down. That push up might happen for a whole day. That push up might happen for a week. Dixie, like I've been saying, in my opinion, if I do this is the monthly and the Dixie. In my opinion, but that's not the Dixie, sorry. This is the Dixie over here. All right. If I zoom all the way out of our Dixie, I believe that the Dixie's in a real discount. Look at those lines here. Can you see these lines, this one and this one? I believe the Dixie is in a real damn discount, mate. It's buy one, get 6 free at the moment. So I believe that there's a high possibility that there's going to be some real demand or some buying pressure coming into this market, some real demand coming in from down here. Now, I don't know, but I just believe that's the case. Now, I don't know whether or not today that's going to happen. And all of a sudden, people are going to be like, listen, it's time for the dollar to get strong again. Let's make America great. I don't know if that's going to happen today or tomorrow or the day after. Maybe the market wants to push down just a little bit more. Down into here. Maybe there's a previous battlefield in here. And then America wants to get great again. I don't know. That's the whole analogy about, even though we think to ourselves that maybe the market might be doing this, it might do this first, then do this. And that little push down, trust me, you don't have enough of an account or your little 10 pips or your 20 pips is going to get taken out before that market does that. Yeah, before that market does that, that's what's going on. That's what's going down in the dunya. All right. Now we're seeing Dixie rise up from in that space here, and we're just wondering, we're wondering the possibilities. Is this Dixie ready to rise up in here? Have a look now. Higher high. Let me put some dots in. Yeah, you look like my dots. These are the dots coming down. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now we've just done this dot. It's a different color dot. It's a higher high. And at the moment, we don't know whether this is going to be the low, but we might get a higher low. And then we might get a higher high, meaning that this market's giving bullish energies. And if this market's giving bullish energy, then our GU and our EU is coming down. All right. But I don't know right now whether this market has finished. Look, if I put some smaller dots in here, here's another color. We'll make this color turquoisey. This is making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Has it finished? I don't know if it wants to come down here. It might want to come down here. Yeah, it might want to come down here first. And then it's going to be like, yeah, now we're ready to get to the yellow dot. I don't know. Or maybe it wants to do it right now. I don't know. So when I'm saying I don't know, it shouldn't make you feel this, oh my gosh, this is just guesswork. Well, a lot of things in life's guesswork, if you really want to go there. Your doctor does guesswork. You come there, he goes, okay, what's your symptoms? So he's got 1,000 things that could be wrong with you. You say, what's your symptoms? Say, doctor, my tongue's a funny color, and I've got a headache over here. He whittles down 1,000 to 500. Then he goes, open your mouth. Let me see the back of your throat. He looks at the back of your throat is swollen. He whittles down 500 to 250. Then you tell him, oh yeah, and plus as well, I've been coughing, and every time I cough, there's phlegm. He whittles down your 250 to, he's doing guesswork. He don't know. He's not the oracle. Don't walk into the room and he just can, just close his eyes and he can just feel what's wrong with you. He says, yeah, but you need to do this. He's doing guesswork. And his guesswork normally lands on, in this day and age, okay, no problem, I think you should go to the hospital. So it's not his problem. Or antibiotics, good for everything. Yeah, just take 2 of these and, come back in a week, see if you're okay. Guesswork. Absolute guesswork. So if you don't rate your doctor's guesswork and you don't ever go see no doctor, yeah, whether they're going to be holistic doctors, whether they're going to be Western world doctors, then you can't tell, and then no one can't tell you that, yeah, trading is just gambling, it's just guessing. Okay. Cool. I don't have a problem you saying that. When I land my helicopter in front of your house and say to you, I've been guessing my way to buying my helicopter, I don't have a problem with it. All right. So we're sitting here and we're watching and we're waiting. This is the dollar index, and we don't know whether this market wants to come down here some more. If it's coming down, losing strength, means our GU might have a little push up. But if it decides now it's ready to start coming and try and get to this yellow dot, our GU and our EU is coming down. The only reason why I believe that maybe this market might come down some more, okay, is because of the fact that we haven't captured this liquidity here on EU or this liquidity here on GU. I hope everything I have said is making perfect sense. Is it making sense? Because I've repeated it a few times, gone over it, really tried to hammer it home, but is it making sense to you guys on the call? Yay, nay, maybe. Is it making sense? Does anybody need me to go back over it again? Does anybody have any questions? Is anyone there? Anybody? Nobody? Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm thinking, look, I gotta know sometimes. I gotta know sometimes. Maybe my connection died 3 minutes ago and I've been talking to myself. I don't know. Yeah. But is there any questions then, or do we understand, this current analysis of GU of what might be going on based upon the Dixie? Do we get it? Do we get it? Do we get it?
Got it.
I'm just assuming everyone's very busy this morning and driving and brushing their teeth and stuff like that, but that's fine. I get it. It's all right. I get it. So we're watching it and we're seeing what may happen. Now, look, we've just tapped into that previous battlefield, which is a point of interest. We're seeing a reaction. I want to know, is that reaction going to come and break this little small structure in here? All right. From in here, is that going to be turning around and saying, no, Jay, we're not going for this liquidity. We don't care about it. We're actually going to tap into this previous battlefield where the market was accumulating sideways. And now we're going to come down here. Or is it the case that this market was accumulating in here? We manipulated to the downside, the same way that we had this box over here. We manipulated down here. And now, Jay, what we're going to do is we're going to distribute higher up into this place here. This is what we're waiting for. This is what we're watching. I'm going to pop some alerts in so I don't have to sit there and look at it with my mouth open. I'm going to pop some alerts in. And if you hear my alerts ringing, it means that something's going on, that we've touched a point of interest. Okay. Because we want to be able to get into a trade. Okay. And me personally, the way I see where Dixie's positioned over here and the way Dixie's moving over here, see, it's looking like maybe Dixie's tapped into that area of imbalance now. We're ready to start pushing up. If that is the case, we might not come and get that liquidity above EU and GU. We might leave it for another day. It's not impossible. All right. So we're going to be driven from what's going on here. But at the moment here, this isn't showing its hand. Okay. It's made lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And at the moment, we have got ever so slight higher low here. And we're seeing this market making a little equal high in here, but I don't trust all that. The last bit of structure is here and here. Yeah. Is this market going to come and, break above this high or push down below this low? This is the question I'm asking myself right now. It will reveal itself probably in the next 10 minutes. Yeah, on the hour. All right. We have got news later on. And, we understand if we click into this core PC, for example, a higher than expected figure should be seen as bullish for the USD. All right. So when we're looking at here and we think if we see numbers come out here at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or, above this anything above 0.1, anything above 0.3, this is going to be bullish for, or they say it should be bullish for the dollar. Okay. Now we will see. All right. Because sometimes the markets do what they need to do. Have a look. Again, we're in here. Remember I said in here, are we going to break this little level of structure where we're in there at the moment, doing a little wick? Remember, I like to see closes. Wicks are just, flirting. All right. I like to see closes. All right. So we've got 14 seconds. Is this candle going to close down below this structure in here and start doing some madness? All right. Start pushing all the way down here. I don't know. We've got 5 seconds. It's looking like it wants to. All right. We've got 5 seconds. It's looking like it wants to. It has closed below here now, so I'm a little bit concerned that maybe this GU wants to keep coming down here, but we're watching it. All right, we are watching it to see what's going to happen. All right, this is just, if anything, it tapping into a previous battlefield. Yeah, it did make a lovely manipulation in here, this previous battlefield. Okay, it did correct, and it did continue here. It is looking like it doesn't care about this liquidity on a smaller time frame, but I'm going to stay calm. And we're going to watch and see exactly what happens. Okay. We're not going to get carried away and just, see something. We're going to, because that a 1 minute energy is small energy. It's not big energy, it's small energy. Yeah. So we're going to sit here and we're going to see what this market is doing. And see what's happening there. So you're not missing out on anything. This is the bit of trading which is about patience. And it's boring. You're sitting there and waiting for something. Oh, I'm waiting to see is this liquidity going to be taken, or is this market going to come down here and break this structure? Meaning it indicated, corrected, and continued down here. That's what I'm waiting for. And if it does come and break this structure, cool. I'll ignore the liquidity up here and say, okay, cool. Let's try and see a way that we can get in. Okay. But if it does come and get this liquidity up here, I'm also interested in getting in from up here. But for that to happen, all eyes are on the Dixie, which is looking like it wants to start breaking some structure. Yeah, it does. I'm going to put an alert here on my MT5, which is a better alert because Trading view just be doing whatever it wants to do. On my Dixie, putting an alert in as and when that market breaks above a little bit of structure. At the moment, you can see the market's thinking about it. There's a conversation being had. Like, it's thinking about it. Should we go up now? Are we ready to get strength, Jay? Are we ready to get strength, Dixie? They're all having a little meeting. Or should we push down a little bit more? Should we tap into this little bit of imbalance that we saw in here? Well, we did tap in a bit. Let me make this imbalance. We did tap in a bit. Do we want to push down a little bit further in here into this level? Or are we happy with that tap in? That's the question that's going on at the moment. All right. That is the questione that is going on at the moment. Yeah. Do we want to push down in here? Or do we want to push up in here? We're going to go look at something else whilst we're waiting. Yeah. Go look at gold. And we're going to go look at the NAS before we finish up. So let's look at gold. Goldie, woldy, goldie. All right. So gold, you know, we've pushed out Asian session lows, but we kind of pushed out before the session started out of the lows, which kind of annoys me anytime that I see that happen. Liquidity taken. Okay. Because we pushed out here at about 6 o'clock. If you look over here, we already kind of dribbled out of the Asian session lows a bit. Yeah, which kind of means that these lows doesn't respect. It's not putting no respect on my name. Yeah, it's not doing what it doesn't care. So does that mean that gold is seeking out something else? So when we look back in here, we're going to look to see what else is going on. All right. Our EGU is looking like it wants to go and violate some lows, man. It's looking like it wants to go and violate the lows as our Dixie gains a little bit of strength. Okay. So we're just watching, see what's going on over there. So we can see over here, we have previous New York session, AM session lows over here. Here we can see previous New York AM session lows here. And don't worry about my alerts. They are ringing because we're going in the wrong direction, but that's fine. Well, we know we have a plan of what we want to do if that low's been taken. Hasn't quite taken it yet. But Dixie has pushed up and broke a little bit of structure. Let's have a quick glimpse at Dixie. That's what's ringing. Is here. Well, to be fair, it hasn't quite broken that structure yet. So my alert was a little bit early. All right, because that structure is here. This is the last high before the lowest point. And I suppose we have just closed above it-ish. Yeah. We have just closed above it-ish. So again, we're just going to wait. We're just going to be patient. My alert was a little bit too early. Let's see what it's going to go and do. All right. Let's go back and look at gold. So as I was saying, we've got New York session lows over here. We've got some London lows over here. I don't know why that says liquidity taken. Let me make it liquidity. And then let's go to current price. So current price, we can see, let's go back, sorry, so make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, so we can see just the market fraffing around in here. You know, the market fraffing around in here. We took some lows from over here, but where there was strength. And so I'm going to identify this low here. And I'm going to say liquidity taken from here because there was strength and speed from here. Boom, market pushed up, you know, started the energy to break that structure in there. So let's go to current price. So currently, you know, currently we're seeing the market dilly-dallying in here after Asian session was taken, after this little low was taken, where there was strength and speed. And, you know, the market again is having a bit of a conversation in here. Look, it's having a bit of a mother's meeting. What should we do, guys? What do you think we should do? Should we go up? Should we go down? I don't want to get involved in this fraff. Yeah, I do like accumulation because accumulation might tell me what it wants to do based upon where it will break. All right, based upon where the market will break, that accumulation can give me a hint of what the market's going to go and do. All right. So again, I'm going to go into my MT5 because I love my MT5. I don't care about you guys. Like, oh, I hate MT5. It looks so old school. Mate, that's where your money's at, bro. Your money's not at TradingView. So if you've got a problem with how MT5 looks, I feel your business that. You have to get into it. And I'm talking about on your desktop as well. All right. I'm not talking about on your mobile. I'm talking about on the desktop. Like, get used to using your MT5 and being comfortable with it. Unless you're trading on some different platform, on some, different online platform or different software, whatever the software that you're using, get used to using that software because that's where you live, Fortunately or unfortunately, that's you. It's no point having hopes or dreams of you're going to trade TradingView. I wouldn't trade my account through TradingView just for the times that I've seen where the ping speed's terrible. My MT5 is moving, but TradingView is staying still. I'm not going to put my money because you can put your money through here. Look, you can connect your broker through TradingView if you want. You can. I've heard people doing it as well. Maybe they don't trade on such smaller time frames and they don't have the issues that I've experienced. Or maybe they got better internet connection than me. I don't know. But I see more problems in TradingView, not because of it's not a nice interface, because it is a nice interface, very user-friendly, etc. Okay. But from the perspective of getting information as quickly as possible, I don't know. Look, have a look at our GU now once again. You see, we didn't violate these lows. All of a sudden, we're coming back up in here. That's why I said we have to be patient. That means our Dixie is coming down. See? That's why we have to be patient. We don't want to jump into things, especially on these smaller time frames. We don't want to just jump into things. We want some real confirmations where we're thinking to ourselves, okay, something's happening. At the moment, this market pushed out here with strength and speed. The market's come down to around the 50% level and it's kind of making a little baby flag pattern. All right. This is the flag. This is the flag. This is the flag. This is the flag here. And this was the pole. This is for a long time. Remember when I first started trading, I never understood when they said flag pattern. I was like, what are you talking about? Can't see it. Can't see a flag. Like, this is the flag. This is the pole. This looks like a flag. This is a bullish pattern. Okay. Normally the market flies out this end. And vice versa, if it was happening the other way, it'd be a bearish flag pattern. Okay. Now, maybe that's what's going on. I don't know, because I can't just trade flag patterns in isolation. Like, yeah, this is a flag pattern, it's going up. No, that's a very simplistic way of trading. I just trade flags. Okay. Yeah. So we're sitting here and we're watching. Is this Dixie going to push down in here? Which is looking like it's doing. Yeah. But when it gets down into this level, is it going to have a reaction? Why have I identified this level? Because I've identified on an hour time frame in Dixie that we made a big old manipulation W here. I identified that we're in a real discount in Dixie, even though down here is the line I drew. That's just a line that I drew. Do you get it? It's not accurate. Like it's not giving instructions to the market. It's just some lines I drew on a chart, giving me a guide of what's kind of happening. It's a guide. Yeah. Now that market here could decide it wants to push down here first. I actually said yesterday this daily imbalance is a concern. Yeah, but this is on a larger time frame. It might push up first before pushing down, maybe, or it might decide it wants to come down here straight away, and our GU and EU just keeps pushing up. Not impossible. Okay, but at the moment I'm watching it, and the Dula is gaining a little strength in the middle of a range. So this is what I'm saying in regards to, trading in the middle of a range. Like we're in the middle of this little yellow range. I don't know whether it wants to go up or down. We're here sitting here going, is it, isn't it? Because we don't know. It's in the middle of a range. Even though this is a very small range, it's in the middle of a range. Is it going to come down here to get to the bottom of the range? Don't know. All right. So let's go back to our gold. Gold is dancing around, it's accumulating. I've put some alerts. I've wrapped that little accumulation range in alerts on my MT5 call. Let's go look at NAS. All right. Let's go look at NAS. Zoom out of NAS, understand what was NAS doing yesterday. Well, yesterday, NAS was extremely bullish. So this is giving us some outside candle confluence. All right. We had outside candle confluence happening in here, creating imbalance. Let me make that different color. Yeah. And we had some outside energy happening. So where's the fill? Okay, where is the fill? Background. All right, so let's just fill it with something. There's some outside energy in here a couple of days ago. Or yesterday we had this market do that. Now whenever we see this outside candle, we always make an assumption that maybe the market would like to come and close up that imbalance, at least 50%, even if it wants to keep going up. Because we make an assumption that when we see an outside green candle, that the next candle is going to be an outside green candle. So I'm expecting this candle to be an outside green candle, but it's not all the time. It might decide it wants to come down in here. All right, so let's go and have a quick look at Dixie quickly, see what's happening. Watching what's happening here. Let's look at our EU. Ramping about in here. Let's look at our GU. The GU, have a look. I've seen some divergence right now. Let's have a look. Let's do this. Let's hit refresh over here. This is gold charting. Let's go to our 1 minute time frame. We've got EU over here. We've got GU over here. Have a look. Look at the divergence. The divergence is over here. I'm seeing this market doing this in this direction. But over here, I'm seeing the market doing this. In this direction. This is bullish divergence. Okay. So even though GU just did a little bit of a madness down here, pushing down into this little area in here, still a little bit concerned that this liquidity over here still wants to get swept. I'm concerned. I'm looking at EU. EU's not done that. Yeah, EU is not doing the same thing. They're not moving the same. Yeah, EU's still consolidating. Yeah, so somebody's telling me lies. I'm Colombo right now here. Somebody's telling me lies. Who's lying to me? Yeah. This is still consolidating. Yeah. Let's refresh it. Let's make sure, because I know that trader views on some. I'm not showing you all the candles. Scenario. Let's see. Yeah, this is still consolidating and pushing up in this direction. But GU pushed all the way down in here. Yeah. Wagwan. What's going on? Someone's telling me lies. Now let's look at our Dixie. My Dixie's falling in strength. So this should be going up. All of that should be going up, should be rising up. All right, let's move my stop. Should be rising up. All right, and look, this is the Dixie that I was saying all this time when we was dancing around. Are we going to get down into these levels? Now we are. Now, does it care about that analysis, or is it going to melt through here and pursue liquidity below maybe Tuesday's daily low, maybe in this imbalance? I don't know. This was an idea that we had, that the market might be trying to turn around here in this flag pattern, but we just got to wait and see, because we're deep in it now. Yeah, we're deep in that little energy of the market coming down into this hour little energy here and having a little reaction. Maybe that meeting's finished now, that it was going backwards and forwards. Maybe they've decided. Maybe they've been in there having a good old meeting backwards and forwards. Now they said, no, we're not turning around now. No, Jay. Sorry. Maybe that's what's happened. We have to push all the way down in here to let GU and EU go get the liquidity. Look how we're going for the liquidity we've been talking about all morning. We're going for it over here. Look, let's have a look on GU. You know, we're trying the thing in GU, but look, pushing up here. We see where I've got this line here saying liquidity. I've got my alert sitting here, waiting to alert me when we get up in here. Yeah? And that might be the manipulation out of this accumulation of it just wicking here. Maybe. Maybe the market's making a bigger accumulation just in here. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that one because I don't fully believe that. But let's see. Let's see. This is why we're patient. Yeah, we identify our area. The market moves based upon liquidity, man. The market is hungry for liquidity. Liquidity is your paper. Look, look how we had our 50% identified here. Look where the market went. You might as well say that's 50%. We're having a small reaction here. I'd like to see it do this now. It might even go all the way up here and do this. I don't know. That's what I'd like to see happen. That's what would make sense to me if it happened. Okay. But either way, we don't know. Okay, we're watching it. I'm going to get rid of this 50%. It doesn't need to be here anymore. It's taking up lots of eye space. Let's do that. Let's go back to looking at NAS. All right. So NAS. This is a daily time frame. We identify this area, this point of interest, this imbalance in here. Let me just make that a little bit less intrusive, like that. And let me just slide this across a bit like this. Let's drop our time frame down to a 15-minute CUR go on. Well, what go on NAS is that we've taken Asian session highs aggressively. Yeah. Boom. Took these highs aggressively. Okay. And we made a manipulation M. Yeah. And it looks like we've corrected and we may be looking to continue. We've got 6 minutes until this 15-minute candle closes. But if this 15-minute candle closes in here, we might have a manipulation M on a 15-minute time frame. It's not the greatest because of the leg out, didn't have strength and speed. Let's drop our time frames. Let's look at it on let's see, 3-minute time frame. It's not clean. Let's get a 1-minute time frame. It's not the cleanest. It's not the cleanest. Let me have a quick look at it on my MT5 because, like I said, I don't fully trust everything that Owanda and TradingView tells me. So at least I get a second opinion. Now, not to say that I trust my broker and say that his candles are amazing, but at least I'm trying to get a second opinion. All right. So I'm in here looking at it on my MT5. Just trust me. And I'm looking at it on very quickly on the 1 minute. Just trying to get it open. I'll go ahead and that's open. And we can see that we did have a nice manipulation M on the 2-minute time frame, and we had imbalance that was left out that was actually tapped in by this wick here on the 2-minute time frame, and we've just got a closure below here. I feel bearish with this. I feel like this market could come down. Okay, so I think this market could come down in here. If I was to get involved, I'd be getting in very low risk. All right. As in low risk entry, lot size wise, and even potentially placing my stop here. Okay. And what's ringing? I've got some alerts happening. I said the alerts that is ringing is our gold. See what gold is ringing about. Let's do that. Let's go and have a look and see what gold is ringing about. Can you see how I use my alerts, guys? Because I wouldn't be able to know that gold was doing anything if I didn't put my alerts on. Look, gold basically pushed down here very close to the lower the range. Where I put the alerts on my XAU USD is a little bit higher than there. So let me just move it down a little bit. All right, so please use your alerts. That's what I'm trying to say. Use your alerts. If you're looking at certain things, you won't see everything. It's impossible. But your alerts will ring when certain levels are broken. Let's go back to NAS. Yeah, I'm looking at NAS, and NAS is looking at potentially, maybe this market wants to come down. Let's get on a bigger picture. Remember I said I did identify on a daily over here this imbalance that maybe this market, wants to come down into here. Maybe. Yeah, maybe for today it wants to come down into here, closing up this little imbalance. Maybe just wants to keep getting bullish and do something else. But at the moment, the way the market has swept Asian session highs over here, made a manipulation M pattern on a small time frame, because it was looking at it on a 2-minute time frame, sorry. Yeah, on a 15-minute time frame, when we don't take into consideration our wicks, we're seeing some sort of energy here. But I'd say personally, wait for the next 2 minutes at least to see where the next 15-minute candle closes. On this smaller 2-minute time frame, though my energy is that I'd like to get in here bearish, I haven't got enough confirmation in here yet. Why? Why have I not got enough confirmation? Because here is structure. Look, structure, a little bit of structure. We haven't even broken this last low. before this highest point. We've wicked and danced around it. We haven't even really broken below it. Yeah. So though I like it for the sell, I haven't quite got the signals yet to get involved. And where that sell might go, it might only go here. It might only go to 50% of the Asian session range, taking that liquidity from below this consolidation. Have a look at the consolidation. You can kind of see this market was kind of having a bit of a conversation in here. Yeah. You can say here, you could even say around here, this whole area in here. So maybe the market comes down 50% and takes that and then starts pushing back up. But when is it going to happen is another question. Let's look at gold. Gold has taken those lows here. So the question is, what is gold doing? All right, gold's been accumulating a little bit. We just pushed that. Is that the manipulation for it to go and do so? The only issue I have with gold is I can't see any significant structure here to the left. There's just this nonsense happening here. Our lows, okay? I can't see, on a 4-hour time frame. Sorry. Let's go to current price. On a 4-hour time frame, we can see a 4-hour low all the way over here. Yeah, in this wick energy. On a daily, we can see that there. I should make this a different color because this is actually a daily low, right? So let me make that the white color, which I think identifies our daily lows that we was doing yesterday. He was making them white. He was making them dotted. He was even giving them some text to say that it is a Friday the 30th of May. Friday 30th May daily low. Okay, let's drop this down like this. Oops, let's do that. Yeah, so with gold, I don't know. I'm not seeing too much. Yes, we've seen an accumulation of energy in here on a much smaller time frame. And look, this is what look, and all we've done is had a wick down here, and now we're coming back up in here. We're just ramping. Okay, let's go and have a look at our Euro USD now. Oh, still looking like we're searching out our highs. Yeah, still looking like we're searching out our highs over there. Okay, the same thing we've been discussing all morning. Even when the market was going against us, I was like, nah, I'm not sure. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, and we can see here the market, it came all the way down here. Even when it was down here, I was saying to you guys, nah, no. Yeah, I wasn't saying for sure, but I was like, I just don't understand why we didn't come up here and take this liquidity. I just don't understand why we didn't come and take this liquidity on GU. Even when the market was all the way down here, I was saying we're at the 50% level. This might be the area that the market's turning around to go get that liquidity. If I lie, I fly. Just run the tape back. Yeah. Even in all this commotion going up and then going down, going up and going down, I was still like, look, I've actually still got this sitting in here. Look. Now, I'm not trying to say it's going to necessarily turn around in this box. I'm going to say around here is a point of interest. Look at it. It's like it's listening to man. It's like you're saying, all right, then, Jay, you got me sussed out. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Take orders. Yeah, I'm gonna do what I'm told. Yeah. So we're sitting here, we're watching this, and now is the opportunity. We're getting near the end of this. There you go. Everything ring-ding-a-ling. All right, everything ringing. We ain't still quite taking that session high yet, but we're definitely taking this level in a minute. Yeah. Shouldn't say the word definitely, but we're gonna take this little red line here. All right. Now, the question is, what starts happening here? Do we start seeing anything that gives us any information like here? This market is here. What starts happening when we get to here? Are we going to start seeing something that makes us think to ourselves, look how Dixie didn't care about that little level. It's pushed all the way down in here. Now, the question is, if it didn't care about that level, where is it going to? Well, where's our next milestones? Well, here's our next milestone here. New York PM session low. I mean, I don't normally write stuff in here, but why not? Feeling creative. So maybe it's going to right. Let's go on the top. Don't know why I can't see it. Where is it? Where's the text?
That'll be for New York session PM high for the DU, yeah? That we're looking for as well.
Yeah. Well, where is it? Did I just label something? Where did it go? New York PM session low, top, right, text alignment. Why can't I see the text I've just drawn? I'm telling you, trading views iffy, man. I'm saying it does some weird stuff. Let's try again. Where is this text? Where are you? Anywho, all right. So maybe the market's searching out, yeah, them New York PM session lows. And like you said, EUG is potentially searching out those New York session highs. So yeah, maybe there is a little something there going on, a little synergy going on there, Darren. All right, maybe. All right. Either way, either wiggle way, we're gonna wait and see. All right, we're gonna wait and see here. Look, we're right here dancing right beside the highs once again. I mean, why are you dancing beside the highs? Look, you was here once. Let's have a look at this. You was here once. And this is the difference with our understanding of the markets. You was here once. Whoops. You was here once. You was here twice. You're back here again. Now, just remember that teaching that I teach in regards to unfilled orders. This guy here had 100,000 Air Force Ones to sell, or 1,000. I can't be bothered making any more zeros. Yeah. The market came to this place here and he sold a percentage of these. He sold 50%. So now he's still got 500 that he'd like to sell at this price. When the price comes back up in here, he sells what he can. Sells another 300. Sells to as many customers as possible. Or maybe the question is maybe he doesn't sell 300 here. Maybe he sells the whole 500 here. We don't know. So the next time the markets come up here, this level isn't stronger. This is what they teach on, very novice YouTube and education. This level's getting stronger and stronger. No, it's getting weaker every time we go up in, because the orders are being filled every time. So the next time it comes up in here, there's a very high probability, as it's doing right now in front of our eyes, that it runs that area. It's getting weaker. Think about if you keep punching a wall. It's not going to get stronger. Keep hitting a hammer at a wall. It's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger every time you hit it. I don't know what material in the world gets stronger every time you hit it. It's going to get weaker. But yeah, I see people and say, oh yeah, look, the market's come up here once, twice, 10 times, 15. This is a very strong area. What are you saying? You're not making no sense. The market keeps going there for a reason. That's a better reason. That's a better question to ask yourself. Why does the market keep going back there? Who's pushing it there? Who wants it to go in that direction? Somebody's giving a lot of effort to keep pushing it to a certain place. Why? Because that's somebody's trying to break that place. And you're over here getting tired, fighting that person. Oh, I've got to fight him again. Got to fight him. At some point, you're going to say, that's long. At some point, you're going to be like, maybe, look, let's make another analogy, boxing analogy. Yes, you fight him once. You even do the rematch, but there's very few. There are some fights that they have the trilogy, the big fights, the Muhammad Ali's, the Eubankses. But most man, after a while, go, it's long, man. I fought you twice, bro. Punched you up twice. It's dead, bro. You don't see man just constantly fighting the same guy over and over and over and over again. So therefore, double tops are possible. Triple tops are rare. Yeah. Most time you see after 2 touches, markets will go through that area. Now we're having a little reaction again. I don't care. Because to me, that's just the same nonsense that this market's been doing all morning, trying to, it's going to take this level properly. It's going to take this level. Let's see where it was before. It was about here. It's going to take this level properly. It should take this level. I hate to say it definitively. Take this level properly. Let's have a look at EU. EU again has come back up in here for the 3rd time, having that little reaction coming down here. Maybe it wants to come and sit on this very small previous battlefield. All of this energy is just like shaking out all the paper hands. All the people that don't know what is going on, that don't know how to read these markets, just shaking them out. Yeah. Because they're looking at it going, oh, I don't know what it's doing. I know what it's doing. It's just ramping. It's like my kid. I watch my youngest just ramping. I'm watching him. I know what he's up to. Yeah. So I believe that we're going to come and take this level in here. We shall see. Yeah, we're having another little reaction to this little top here. We shall see. Any questions, guys? Any questions about anything? Let's look at NAS real quick. I said I did like NAS for the sell, but I was looking for some confirmations. It hasn't given me any confirmations as yet. Let's quickly have a quick glimpse at gold that we was looking at before we finish. Gold was in this accumulation phase. I'm a bit concerned that the next checkpoint's all the way down here for gold. Gold has been very bullish. All right, if we zoom out of gold, stop looking so micro at it. Gold has been a very, very bullish pair, but gold has been trading within a bit of a box for a little bit. All right, here's the box. It's been kind of in this little box, this little area for a little bit. We're kind of in the middle of that area, which is, yeah, I hate being in the middle of any kind of range, but does gold want to come all the way down in here? All right, or is gold still of, if people still threatened by the war and everything, and gold just wants to push back up? Well, I'm never going to bet against gold getting bullish. Yeah, not recently. Yeah, gold's been notoriously bullish, has lots of reasons to continue being bullish. And, me turning around saying, now gold's going to come all the way down here. Question would be why? Why do you think that, Jay? And I'm going to have to give you a good answer of why I think that gold's going to come all the way down. All right. But I'd say, guys, wait. This market takes that liquidity above GU and EU. Let's have another quick look at Dixie before we finish. Dixie's had another reaction again. Look, boom, had a bit of reaction again. Where to? Let me delete some stuff off the Dixie. Delete that. Delete that. Let's delete that. Let's delete that. Let's clean up. Clean up. Maybe Dixie just wants to come and tap into this bit of imbalance and then keep going down again. Yeah. Ultimately, then we can see the markets on a smaller time frame. They're kind of ramping a bit. Yeah, they're kind of seeing who's really about it. Yeah. Who really thinks they know how to trade these markets on a smaller time frame. That's what Dick's doing at the moment. Okay. Take time, stick with the strategy, wait for liquidity to be swept, wait to see what you need to see. If you don't see it, don't take a trade. If you don't take a trade all day because you don't see it, then good. You're a better trader than someone that's just hitting the button and they couldn't see anything. All right? Guys, have an amazing, 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 amazing day. Get on with your day. Go fulfill your potential. I'm going to go and put something on in our live room for anybody who wants to play in the background or wants to sit and watch what we're watching in the room. What am I going to put on? I don't know. I normally let YouTube tell me. Let's see what YouTube's telling me. Let's see what kind of things are going on in the world. I'm just looking through here to see if there's anything that looks really interesting. It's about AI. I'm going to watch something about AI. Guys, I'm very, very interested in artificial intelligence and what's going on. All right, we're going to watch something on AI, something different. I'm going to stop the live.